I personally believe that it was, especially after this went viral, this scene right here, it was very easy for people to jump on the Weeknd and talk about how bad he was. I'm not gonna even say names right now. Normally I would compare it to something else. I'm not saying anything, but I have seen things recently with horrible acting. All right, now I'm gonna say the Weeknd ain't great, but he ain't bad.
He's not really an actor.
And
he's a musician.
Well, don't act in. But I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's bad at all. Go on over to dtmerch.com. Show some love to us by getting that merch that we have available for you. Check us out. Double Toasted live in Atlanta. That's going to be September 2nd for a night of comedy games and the after party that we have going on for you. That's going to be at the Marietta's new theater in the square. So I finally saw, and this is what I was going to ask you about. I finally saw all of that HBO Max show, or just Max now.
Oh, the Idol?
The Idol.
What does that mean he's taking over the house?
He's brainwashed her.
So this is a show that has been heavily panned by critics out there. Stars Lily Rose Depp as a pop idol who suffers a mental breakdown and loses her creative spirit. So The Weeknd comes in and plays this guy named Tedros. And Tedros is people don't know what to think about this guy. He's a club owner / pimp / cult leader. But when he comes in, man, with all his freakiness and his crazy methods, he brings out of her that thing that she was looking for. But this was panned by critics, and I listen. I'm gonna agree with everything they say. Now you're gonna have a surprise. You're gonna be surprised because I'm gonna have a surprising take on this. Something that is probably going against what a lot of people are saying about this show. But you just heard me say that, everything they're talking about, I 100% agree with these critics because I was watching this without really knowing what the critics were saying, because I knew The Weeknd was in it, and I was already on. I just finished watching Succession.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. I finished the last episode of Succession, and The Idol. What the hell is this? The Weeknd and Lily Rose Depp. Let me cut this on. I started watching it, and man, this shit was hilarious. All right. So this is the creator of Euphoria, Sam Levinson, son of Barry Levinson, and I laughed at how hard they were just trying to be provocative, man.
Yeah.
It's so it's so cringy and it's funny and uncomfortable because it heavily relies on sex. Because the way that Lily Rose Depp is getting her creativity brought out is pretty much just being kind of sexually assaulted by The Weeknd. You know, he's pretty much mind raping her and in the process physically raping her, man. I will say it felt bad because it does feel like it's exploiting mental trauma, mental illness. They flat out say that we glad this bitch went crazy. You know, they at a certain point in here, man, because her mother died. Yeah. When her mother died, who abused her, she's flipping out. She's having a mental breakdown, and all these people are exploiting it. But the show feels like it's exploiting that, and it's exploiting it through sex.
Yeah,
and the sex.
This sounds like Blonde.
It has those vibes, man, except worse. Man, because man, there's so much nudity and sex in here. It's just trying way too hard.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, hate to interrupt the flow of the show, but Pixie and I, we have to give a very special word out to our sponsor. And this is something that I think you're going to like anyway. And that is HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh is here to help you with your summer meal prep with pre-portioned ingredients that travel right from the farm straight to your door in less than 7 days for quality that you can definitely taste the difference in. Get some variety in your life. HelloFresh offers 40 recipes to choose from every single week, so you'll never get bored and you'll always find something new to try. Need dinner fast? I know you want to call takeout, but don't you do that. I put that phone down. You use HelloFresh. Why? Because HelloFresh, they offer fast and fresh recipes that are ready in just 15 minutes or even less. Plus, HelloFresh is 25% cheaper than takeout. You know that. And HelloFresh is even more than dinners. You can add snacks, sides, and even more to your weekly order. Simply shop HelloFresh Market and take your pick from a selection of over 100 items. And HelloFresh has some great summer recipes. Anything from a backyard bratwurst bar to a tangy key lime pie to even more that you can see right here. But if you're looking to eat well this summer, HelloFresh has calorie smart and protein smart lunch and dinner options. Plus, they have some very nice vegan dinners to choose from. HelloFresh is so fast, fun, and easy to make that I had a guest come over the other day and they cooked HelloFresh for me. And I was kind of mad because I didn't get a chance to cook it myself. Now I'm sitting up here talking to you and I know I've already sold you on this. You want to try it, but here's something that's going to make you want it even more. If you go to HelloFresh.com/doubletoasted50 and use our code doubletoasted50, you will get 50% off plus free shipping. I want to thank HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit, once again for sponsoring this portion of the show. And as usual, I want to thank all of you out there for your support. Now, back to the show. And it starts to feel immature and very immature. And then, you know what it starts to feel like? It starts to feel like this is a show made by this dude right here. Now, you know, a dude with a bad suit and a rat tail. Because you can tell this show that it feels like the person who's making this just has a hard dick the whole time. Yeah, it doesn't feel natural what they're trying to do. They're trying very hard to be edgy and provocative, and they're trying to get a rise out of people. And most people, you know, I'm just laughing. I just like the sex scenes in here are so cringy, man. You know, first of all, you talk about exploitive. It feels like they're really going in and exploiting the nudity of all these characters. There's so many nude scenes for no reason. And they really feel like they're taking advantage of Lily Rose Depp.
Yeah. Like
she thinks she's being, you know, I get the feeling that maybe she feels like she's being, she's showing her sexual freedom here, bearing it all for the world, you know. But it just doesn't seem right. It just seems like y'all just doing it to do it.
Yeah.
Character motivations are crazy. That's not Lily Rose Depp, by the way. It's still the character motivations in here don't make sense near the end. You know, decisions that are made with some of these characters don't make sense. Some of these characters are a little over the top. They missed the mark on this, man. They missed the mark completely with this. But the thing that I actually have to praise this for is the thing everybody's criticizing it for. The Weeknd.
Oh.
Everybody talked about how bad his acting is in the show and agreed that there are some scenes in here where he's just not, he's not good. Everybody talked about that scene where he was, he was
looking at her. Oh.
You know, that scene is horrible. They're shopping on Rodeo Drive. He thinks that this dude is looking at Lily Rose Depp. And then he gets in the dude's face. And again, some people said this felt like a Key and Peele sketch right here.
Let me catch you looking at her again. Stomp your curb stomp. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's a terrible scene right there. Yeah. But that's what The Weeknd is a victim of, I think, in this movie. Now, once everybody started talking about his acting in here and how bad it was, I personally believe that it was, especially after this went viral, this scene right here, it was very easy for people to jump on The Weeknd and talk about how bad he was. I'm not going to even say names right now. Normally I would compare it to something else. I'm not saying anything, but I have seen things recently with horrible acting. All right. Now I'm going to say The Weeknd ain't great, but he ain't bad.
He's not really an actor.
And he's
a musician.
Well, don't act in. You know? but you know, I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's bad at all. I think he's in a bad product, and I think he's putting some bad scenes. But there are some other scenes here where I don't see the hate where everybody's talking about he's awful. And I actually think he did good in some scenes. I actually think he did just fine. Is he going to win an Emmy? No, you know, I don't think so. But when you have something this bad right here,
it's hard for anybody to look good unless they are an experienced actor.
It really, man, if you can't outshine, you know, the bad material right here, it's going to bring you down. And that's what I think that's what he's a victim of here. I think he just got dragged down by a bad product. The show is not good, at least not for me. I agree with a lot of people out there. It's just a sleazy show. I don't know what point they're trying to make, but whatever point they were trying to make, they end up being that point.
Yeah.
You know, it's laughable to everybody. You know, it's funny because you can see them thinking that, oh man, we're gonna get people talking. We pushing the boundaries here. I ain't pushing. I ain't pushing none of my nerves right now. My funny bone. You know, It's but yeah, y'all, I really do think that The Weeknd got treated unfairly here. Yeah, I see.
Yeah,
She
the cat
agrees too.
agrees.
Yeah, she agrees too.
Unless you saying you're wrong.
And Lily Rose Depp is another one that was catching flack, and that's because she's in the center of a lot of bad sex scenes. So is The Weeknd, and that's what made them look so bad. I'm gonna tell you what really made them look bad, and I get it, man. I get it. Yeah. What made them look bad is that they are in some terrible sex scenes, and they're trying to do sex talk, and that stuff is just ridiculous, man. It sounds bad. It sounds like somebody who, they just got out of their virginity.
Oh.
And they're trying to talk like they hear people talking porn.
Oh,
This is where the girl would stop them and say, "Well, you shut the nobody talks like this."
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the middle of some terrible sex scenes. And it's awkward enough with the sex itself, but the dialogue in those scenes are horrible, man. It's horrible. It's terrible. And because they're in those scenes, they really are catching the brunt of criticism for this. Because otherwise, Lily Rose Depp, I don't think she's awful. I don't think she's bad at all. I don't think The Weeknd is bad. I don't think Lily Rose Depp is bad. They got some very bad scenes that they were put in, and that's unfortunate because once that happened, since they're the main characters, they caught the flack. They caught hell for this. And, I mean, and even though people are jumping on a bandwagon with The Weeknd's performance, and to a certain extent, Lily Rose Depp's, I get it, because they're front and center, and really those things are so bad. Some people just, at that point, it colors the whole show for them.
Right.
It's a bad show to me, y'all. It's really bad. I tell you what, it's so bad that it's a must see. Okay,
Like I say, you have mentioned how bad the show is about 37 times.
Oh yeah, it's bad. 38. It's two shows I say y'all must see for 2023: The Bear and The Idol, for two opposite reasons. The Idol is getting right everything The Bear is getting right everything the Idol's trying to do, except for the sex stuff.
Yeah.
Because what the Idol's trying to do is create this chaos because they're trying to highlight the sleaziness of the music business.
Yeah.
And they don't get it right, man. Again, they're really pushing too hard. The Bear is where they really, The Bear is also about an industry, the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
And it captures that a lot better than what they're doing right here. So yeah, man, y'all should watch this. Have some fun. See how bad these scenes are. They're terrible scenes. And it brings everybody down. I feel bad for them. This show is quicksand.
Damn.
Yeah, and it just dragged them under, man. Yeah.
Damn. Sounds like since you had to suffer, you want all of us to suffer.
Everybody in the chat you. Yeah, it doesn't even make sense. By the time we get to the last two episodes, characters are flipping in certain ways that makes no sense at all.
How many episodes?
I think it's 5. Is it 5 episodes, y'all? I believe it's 5.
That's not too bad.
No, that's why I went into
They're
it.
an hour apiece.
Yeah, 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, that's where it becomes too bad.
But there you go, y'all. That's my take on it. The final take is that The Weeknd, I really do think that I got to say something nice about the guy because I kind of made fun of him based on that scene also. Yeah, she agrees. She said he ain't that bad. And I feel bad about that because after watching it, I really do think that he's fine in this, man. It's just, what are you going to do with this? He's not an actor. And I tell you what, he probably will, if he had more acting experience and, not even that, because then he's in those really bad sex scenes.
Yeah.
So you think it was just bad directing?
Before the directing, the concept is bad. The concept is ill-fated, and the writing is not very good either. It's an ill-fated concept because of everything that they're trying to do with sex here. Sex is a really weird thing, man. It's in shows. Like if it's a very thin line, and if you cross over into this area of looking like you're trying to push people too hard, you're trying to get a rise out of people too hard, people gonna recognize that. Yeah. So there you go.
So what will be your rating?
What's that?
So what will be your rating?
This. You know what? It would normally be a you, and you know what? It kind of is, man, because of the way they take advantage. But it's a good. Yeah, because the way they come in and they're trying to, they're trying to push the envelope so hard by taking sex and using it to actually exploit mental illness and trauma. It's like that's just shameless, man. So yeah, it's you, but I got a lot of laughs out of this. I did. I was shaking my head.
I gotta say, everything you're saying is what I said about Blonde to a T.
Oh yeah, no, I saw Blonde. I agreed with Blonde. Yeah. Zulu Ninja dropped $5 in the hyper chat to say he does a hell of a slap. He sure does. That slap came out of nowhere. I didn't see that shit. I didn't see that shit coming at all. He slapped the cook.
The cook?
Yeah, the cook, and he was getting a little out of line.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, y'all. There you go.